What happens when a 64-year-old icon shows up on a tropical beach in what looks like a transparent bikini, and the entire internet can't stop talking about it? Carol Vorderman, best known for her sharp mind and decades on British TV, just flipped the script on aging, confidence, and what it means to truly own your style. One set of vacation photos set off a firestorm. Some fans were in awe, others were shocked, and debates erupted across social media. But as the headlines rolled in, something unexpected happened. This wasn't just about a bikini anymore. Stay with us, because what Carol did next turned a viral photo into a powerful message that's challenging everything we thought we knew about beauty, age, and boldness. It began with a few sun-drenched snapshots that seemed harmless at first, until people looked closer. Carol Vorderman, relaxing on a pristine beach in a tropical paradise, was wearing a barely there two-piece that caught the light in just the right way. Or the wrong way, depending on who you ask. The bikini appeared almost translucent, with delicate stitching and a sheer mesh fabric that left little to the imagination. Yet there was no wardrobe malfunction here. Carol knew exactly what she was doing. She paired the bold look with oversized sunglasses, a floppy sun hat, and a touch of gold jewelry, letting the outfit speak for itself. The images radiated confidence, style, and zero hesitation. In every frame, she looked like someone entirely in control, unapologetic and glowing. But while the fashion world may have called it daring, the internet had its own word for it: controversial. The photos didn't just go viral, they ignited a storm. Social media lit up within hours, and the responses were anything but quiet. Fans flooded the comments with praise, calling Carol fearless, fabulous, and a true icon. Many admired her for defying expectations and wearing what made her feel powerful, no matter her age. But not everyone was applauding. Critics chimed in, claiming the look was too much and inappropriate for someone in her 60s. Debates raged in comment sections, pitting body confidence against traditional ideas of modesty. Some even questioned whether the bikini was a publicity stunt. But the louder the criticism got, the more supporters rallied around her, turning the moment into something bigger than beachwear. Carol had clearly struck a nerve, and the conversation was just getting started. While the internet buzzed with opinions, Carol didn't fire back with anger, just honesty. In a quiet Instagram story, she responded with a single sentence that shut down the noise. "I'm proud of my body and I'll wear what makes me happy." That one line hit harder than any dramatic comeback. It wasn't defensive, it was grounded, personal, and completely unapologetic. Fans instantly rallied behind her, resharing the post and praising her for turning criticism into a lesson in self-worth. Media outlets picked it up, calling her response classy, empowering, and exactly what women needed to hear. But this wasn't just a mic drop moment, it was a reminder that confidence doesn't have an age limit. And Carol wasn't just embracing her body, she was giving others permission to do the same. Still, as powerful as her words were, the real impact came from what she did next. As more photos surfaced, it became clear this wasn't just a fashion moment, it was a full-on celebration of life. Carol wasn't posing for the camera, she was living. Candid shots showed her laughing with friends, swimming in crystal-clear waters, and sipping fresh coconut straight from the shell. No filters, no forced angles, just a woman completely at ease. And that's what struck a chord with so many people. In a culture obsessed with perfection and youth, Carol's vacation felt like a breath of fresh air. She wasn't trying to prove anything, she was just being herself. The images captured something rare. Pure, unfiltered joy. And suddenly it wasn't the bikini that stood out, it was the freedom behind it. But as the feel-good energy grew, so did the conversation around something much bigger than fashion. For decades, women over 50 have been quietly pushed to the sidelines of fashion and beauty conversations. But Carol Vorderman just kicked that door wide open. At 64, she didn't just wear a bikini, she rewrote the rules. In a world that often suggests older women should fade into the background, she chose to shine unapologetically. And she's not alone. From Helen Mirren's red carpet elegance to Andie MacDowell's silver-haired runway walks, more women are taking control of their image on their own terms. Carol's beach moment wasn't just about her body. It was a challenge to the unspoken rule that confidence has an expiration date. She reminded everyone watching that age doesn't define relevance, and that freedom doesn't have to disappear with time. But the deeper meaning of her statement was just about to come into focus. What looked like a sheer swimsuit was actually a bold statement wrapped in fabric. Carol's choice wasn't just fashion, it was a form of quiet rebellion. She wasn't dressing to impress or provoke. She was dressing for herself. The transparent bikini became a symbol of transparency in a deeper sense, of owning who you are, flaws and all, without apology. In a society that tells women to shrink as they age, she did the opposite. And the message was clear: confidence doesn't need approval. Whether you're 24 or 64, wearing what makes you feel powerful isn't something to hide. It's something to celebrate. Carol turned a moment of shock into a movement of self-acceptance, and that's exactly why this story won't fade with the tide. What started as a set of viral vacation photos quickly became something much more powerful. Carol Vorderman didn't just break the internet, she broke expectations. She showed the world that confidence isn't tied to age, and style doesn't come with an expiration date. The bikini may have sparked the conversation, but the real story is about owning your body, your joy, and your choices, regardless of what anyone else thinks. In an age where social media often promotes filters and fear of judgment, Carol's unfiltered confidence became a rare and refreshing reminder of what it means to live boldly. So the question isn't whether her outfit went too far, it's whether we've all been too afraid to go far enough. Was her beach moment shocking? Empowering? Maybe both. Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're inspired by stories like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, and stay tuned, because this conversation is just getting started. Just when it seemed the story had peaked, the fan reactions took it to a whole new level. Thousands of comments poured in, not just about Carol's looks, but about how she made people feel. Women from all over the world shared their own stories of aging, body image, and self-doubt. Some wrote that they hadn't worn a swimsuit in years, until now. Others thanked Carol for showing their daughters what real confidence looks like. Even younger viewers chimed in, saying they hoped to carry themselves with that kind of energy one day. It wasn't just admiration, it was connection. Carol had unintentionally tapped into something deeply personal for so many people. This wasn't about celebrity anymore, it was about representation, and seeing yourself reflected in someone who refuses to shrink to fit the mold. One viral moment, and suddenly, people were thinking differently about what it means to grow older, louder, bolder, and absolutely unstoppable. If you thought this was just a one-time headline, think again. Carol Vorderman isn't slowing down. If anything, this viral moment seems to have sparked a new chapter. Rumors are already swirling about potential brand partnerships, lifestyle campaigns, and even a documentary exploring age, image, and reinvention. She's reportedly in talks for new media projects that spotlight women breaking the mold in midlife and beyond. And fans are here for it. Carol's message, bold, clear, and completely unfiltered, is starting to resonate beyond social media and into the mainstream. Whether she's walking a red carpet, hosting a panel, or simply posting another bikini snap with that trademark grin, one thing is clear: Carol's not just changing the conversation, she's leading it. And if this beach moment was any indication, whatever comes next will be just as unapologetic. At first glance, it was just a woman in a bikini on a beach. But the impact went far beyond the shoreline. Carol Vorderman's bold choice stirred something much deeper, forcing us to confront our own ideas about age, beauty, and who gets to feel proud of their body. It reminded us that confidence isn't something you outgrow, it's something you step into. Her story wasn't just about style or controversy, it was about freedom. Freedom to dress how you want, live how you want, and show up exactly as you are. For so many viewers, that message hit home. Because when someone like Carol dares to show up boldly, it makes space for the rest of us to do the same. That's why this moment mattered, not because it shocked people, but because it inspired them. And in today's world, That kind of courage is more than rare, it's revolutionary. Carol Vorderman didn't just start a conversation, she may have triggered a cultural shift. For years, aging has been quietly tiptoed around in media, especially for women. But with one beach stroll, Carol flipped the script. This wasn't rebellion, it was evolution. Suddenly, age isn't something to hide, it's something to own. Brands are taking notice, fans are demanding more diverse representation, and conversations that once felt taboo are now front and center. Carol's moment has opened the door for other women to be seen, not just remembered. And it's not just about bikinis or bodies, it's about visibility, voice, and value at every stage of life. What Carol proved is simple: aging doesn't mean fading. It can mean rising, redefining, and even leading a new era. And if this moment was the spark, we're only just seeing the fire catch. In the end, Carol Vorderman didn't just challenge expectations, she quietly redefined them. Her beachside moment wasn't a cry for attention, it was a declaration of self-assurance. Not the loud, performative kind, but the type that radiates from someone who's lived, learned, and let go of the need for permission. That's the kind of confidence that sticks with people, not because it's flashy, but because it's real. Carol has become a symbol not just of beauty, but of bravery. And maybe that's the new standard we should be aiming for: confidence rooted in joy, not approval, in self-worth, not social pressure. As more women follow her lead, owning their age and embracing their power, one thing becomes clear: this wasn't just about a bikini. It was about freedom. And freedom, when worn unapologetically, never goes out of style. Long after the photos stop trending and the headlines fade, this moment will leave behind something more lasting, a new kind of legacy. Carol Vorderman didn't plan to spark a global conversation, but she did. And what makes this moment truly powerful isn't the outfit, the beach, or even the controversy. It's the ripple effect. It's the woman who sees herself differently now. It's the daughter who watches her mother stand taller. It's the quiet confidence beginning to rise in people who once felt invisible. Carol reminded us that influence isn't always loud, it's often found in bold choices, silent strength, and the refusal to shrink. This was more than a viral flash, it was a shift in what we celebrate. And maybe the real takeaway is this: sometimes, the most unexpected moments become the ones that move us forward. At its core, this wasn't just Carol Vorderman's moment, it was a mirror held up to all of us. Because the way people reacted says just as much about our culture as it does about Carol. Some cheered. Some criticized. But everyone noticed. And that alone reveals something powerful: we're hungry for authenticity. For people who live unapologetically. For reminders that aging isn't a curse, it's a privilege. Carol simply gave us permission to see that. Not just in her, but in ourselves. Her confidence made people ask, what if I could feel that free? And maybe that's the real story here. That beneath the headlines and hashtags, a 64-year-old woman in a translucent bikini reminded the world that freedom, joy, and self-love aren't bound by age, shape, or expectation. They're ours to claim. If we're brave enough to.